What we now use is the frame Islamist, which is someone's interpretation of Islam which they wish to enforce on society. That's his Islam. Yeah? That group, ISIS, which is what these men are supporters of, that's their Islam. Yeah? It is their Islam. You're better off arguing with them about why it's their Islam. I don't know why it is.
Today we're going to be watching Tommy Robinson answering a question about Islam and free speech, and it's going to be interesting. Let's go.
You say that you've now reformed the way within which you're working, now working with groups such as Kilium and trying to work with Muslims in particular. But my question to you is, why 6 or 7 years ago did you not think that the way to tackle these issues then would be to sit down and talk with Muslims, or within a liberal democracy to lobby your government for the way that your government is for example, enacting in foreign policy and the Western involvement in the Middle East that is perpetuating extremism. Instead, you chose to take to the streets and to lead a racist, fascist organization and to, continue to confound Islamophobia. But now you've had this change of heart. So why not do that 7 years ago, and what's changed?
You talk about reform myself and have a change of heart. Who wanted to talk to me 6 years ago? 5 years ago? Who wanted to talk to us? As I've told you, we tried to talk to our council. No one wanted to sit down and talk to us. And sort of a bit of a myth is that I've changed what I'm saying. And I wasn't open to dialogue anyway. I was. I mean, imams I've met over the years whilst leading the English Defence League. Well, one meeting nearly got me killed because I met with the imam from Dewsbury. He come down to see me 4 days before the English Defence League demonstration. Remember, this is a demonstration where Muslims plan to blow everyone up with bombs. But I've been open for dialogue, and you're asking what's changed. You said a fascist and racist organisation as well. And you also mentioned Islamophobia. I think quite a lot of the things we fear are rational. I think they are rational. Because a phobia is an irrational fear. So I don't think it's right to just, again, brandish people who have genuine concerns and fears as being Islamophobic.
Yep.
You make a distinction between extremist Muslims and the general Muslims. You say, there are plenty of Muslims who are not bad Muslims, right? And you were saying that earlier. But in that video that you showed, when that individual went to attack you in the car, you said that's Islam.
Yep.
And I have several tweets here just from 2 years ago that you said something. I just saw someone planting a time bomb, or as the Muslim woman involved called it, having a baby. You also said, I walked into a library and asked for a book on rape, genocide and killing, and they handed me the Quran. So these are very generalized, statements about the whole of Islam, about people who follow Islam. There's no separation there between radical Islam and and now you make this sudden distinction, but in that video you just showed that's Islam.
Yeah, anyone can.
They're always clapping for the stupidest things. These crowds. Stupidest things.
Anyone can Photoshop a tweet, as happens many times. I get told I've said this, I've said that, and many times it's the first time I've heard it.
That's 4 years of tweets.
That's 4 years ago, is it?
4 years worth of tweets. Ending in when you...
I wasn't on...
And then you reopened your...
Well, I wasn't on Twitter 4 years... I wasn't on Twitter 4 years ago, yeah? When I said that's Islam, what we now use is the frame Islamist, which is someone's interpretation of Islam which they wish to enforce on society. That's his Islam. Yeah? That group, ISIS, which is what these men are supporters of, that's their Islam. Yeah? It is their Islam. You're better off arguing with them about why it's their Islam. I don't know why it is. But you see, smack in the face like that. Just Google Tommy Robinson beaten up. You'll find picture after picture of my face rearranged. It happens quite a lot. Yeah? The vast majority of Muslims, again, that I meet, don't smack me in the face. But there is an issue. There is a problem. It's a problem that you should be able to talk freely about, or at least oppose without everyone wanting to kill you. Yeah? 6 Osman warnings I've had. So's my wife. She's had Osman warnings when she was pregnant, telling her that people were planning to kill her. We're in Britain, land of freedom and democracy. We should feel free to oppose say, stand up against anything we want to.
Yep.
You want to shout me down, you want to slander me, you want to call me something, fine. All we see is violence. That's all I see. It's not all I see, because the vast majority of Muslims who come up to me, I've had many Muslims stop me in the street and say that they feel their religion's been hijacked. I can date this back, which is when I go back to this Muslim recently, who I'm meeting this week, and he brings it all back to the time of Abdul Wahhabi, talking about Wahhabism. Can you blame me for thinking it's representative of Islam when I live in Luton and I see the scenes you've seen? Would you blame me? And when the imam I see on my TV, I do a bit of research, I do a bit of digging. They opened a Discover Islam Centre in my town, okay? A Discover Islam Centre was opened in Luton Town Centre, and it was opened by Luton Borough Council. It took me 10 minutes to dig and look at Yusuf Bonner, that was his name. Yusuf Bonner was the manager of the centre. This was his 5th religion, was Islam, yeah? He's been everything, even a Jedi, I think. But he's worked his way through, he's obviously a nutter. And he's opening a centre in Luton Town Centre, supported by our council. On his blog, he said, Christians are wearing suicide vests of wrongful belief. We will not rest until Islam is brought into every home in Luton. Bearing in mind, you've seen the problems we've got, yeah? This was only in 2012. Now, I wondered who was funding this centre, this Dawah centre that was going to be a shop in the town centre. I want to know who's funding it, because then when you find out who's funding it, you see what's going to be propagated through it. So I set up a fake profile in a Muslim name, and I began a conversation with Abdul Rahim Green, because these sort of centres have been opened in Tower Hamlets, yeah? You know, IRA, the charity. Abdul Rahim Green. So what this centre's coming to do is show us the true Islam, yeah? Because we've apparently seen the false Islam many times. We want to see the true Islam. So straight away I got talking, and he confirmed, yes, they are behind this centre. So then I looked online to find speeches by Abdul Rahim Green, where straight away I see a speech where he says, if your wife disobeys you, take a stick and beat her. I don't want this in my town. I certainly don't want it in every home in Luton. This is not helping, yeah? And the Muslims I'm meeting this week also say that this centre, they agree, is an extreme centre. It's got Wahhabi books in it now, yeah? Can you blame us, as a non-Muslim, as a Luton lad, growing up in the town? Do you blame me for thinking what I'm seeing is representative? When I do a bit of research, I do a bit of digging on anyone I've debated over the years. This is why I have a problem with a lot of the organisations, the mainstream organisations.
Tommy Robinson, this speech was 10 years ago. 10 years later, we have radical Muslims walking down the streets in the UK and in Europe, chanting, globalize the Intifada, kill the Jews, gas the Jews, do horrific things to the Jews, supporting Hamas while living in the UK, biting the hand that feeds them, grooming gangs. He was not wrong. Tommy Robinson is out of jail. It's only going to go downhill for the Muslims from here. So, great speech by Tommy Robinson. We will watch some more videos of him. I want to bring him back into the conscience. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to support me financially, you can do so through Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the description below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again in the next video.